Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Worldology, and today this is going to be a freestyle video. I'm just going to go like off the top of my head on this idea, and this is just the game modes in Battlefield. So they have a lot of game modes. They have way too many game modes to divide the player base, and the thing is about Battlefield is that the core player base, you know the people who like stayed on Battlefield for the majority of the time and played the only game modes that was basically playable is just saying that and by the way, the people that was using these shotguns in this game, bro, your ass. I'm sorry, but your ass. All right, so let me get this straight. Um the thing about having a big variety of modes is that it's gonna make people not be able to choose, right? So just like I said in my last video, having all these game modes isn't good, and it looks like Battlefield is over. Dice is overwhelming themselves just to have a high player count. We know that they broke the all-time record of having the most Battlefield players on the game. But even though you have a lot of game modes, doesn't mean that you'll get a lot of players. You know what I mean? It's like it's like saying if the gameplay isn't good and we have all these game modes, then hey, somebody is going to play a game mode, and then you see that a game mode is dead and you have to wait in queue times. So that pertains to server browser. I said that in my last video. But it's just this. I heard it was a double down on the movement, right? We already know it's supposed to be a double down because a lot of things in this game is going to pertain to having movement. So first of all, we have mortars or whatever. We have a lot of different gadgets in this game. And if they do not remove that incendiary grenade, then it's not going to be a good look for anybody actually. So it's just, what are the game modes for? Like, we already have 7 game modes in total, including RBR for Battlefield, right? And it's like, do we really need all of that? We still have, well, a total of 12,000 players in total, but they're in between BF1 and 5. But the only game modes that's really playable on BF1 and 5 is Operations and Breakthrough. Conquest is obviously going to be up there because it's Conquest. That's what Battlefield made their name off of, which is Conquest, a big map, right? But obviously for, the dividing players, if, well, the divided players to play different game modes, right? The only game modes was Rush, Breakthrough, Operations, for the BF1 players. And what other game mode? Sometimes TDM, right? So we only basically need four game modes, and that's where I'm gonna talk about this a little bit, but I'm gonna probably go in full detail, and whenever I make the video about the maps, right? The map design, we all know, like, the map design is more catered towards CQC. So you see how on this big map on the left side of my screen on night baiting job, right? How ironic that I get 2 bank jobs in my only 2 times playing in a few days, right? But you see how the map is, right? It's basically the size of a BF6 map. And that's probably where they're catering to. And my thing about that is that obviously they said that it was going to be a variety of map sizes and designs. We already see some different map designs that was in a beta, and they all look pretty similar, pretty medium large maps, but we just don't know what's going to come in the future. And They said even if they said that there's going to be, some bigger size maps, the movement again. We're not. This is. You see how hardline in the background. I move everybody in this game, including the shotgun players. Yes, I'm gonna give my condolences to y'all. Yeah, because yeah, next time, bro. But still, everybody in this game was basically moving like some type of like speedster or something. Like they was moving around too much. We was all moving around too much. And the thing about that is that obviously for hardline, even if this game had was able to get bigger maps, it would have been playing more smoothly or more or have more flow to the whole game. You know, it will improve the flow state of the game because obviously we'll be able to get on objectives faster, like how we are right now. And it's just, and it's just, are we actually going to? And I heard, matter of fact, this is freestyle video, right? Just off the top of my head again. But I heard that the open class system weapon thing is back online. And the thing about that is nobody. Why do everybody give a f about it when the whole thing was people majority saying that it didn't matter when the beta was out? So it's like, who is bringing the dumbass idea up, bro? Like nobody cares. The game did not play any different. The only difference is that people people on their respective classes, bro. It was more assaults on BF Heartline. You can check my streams. It was more assaults on BF Heartline than I mean BF6 beta, open beta than there was freaking medics and engineers. And recons, y'all know the meme about the recons, right? It's just like, come on, bro. That doesn't even matter. The whole matter of the game of BF6 at the current moment is that, bro, we actually need the gameplay to work. You see how this gameplay is in the background. To me, it's way, way better than 2042, and I think the movement is way more fluid than Battlefield 6. Obviously, because we're not on the same engine as we are on BF6 than BF Hardline, and this was actually the engine taken from BF4, which has had the best movement in the game, excluding the Zuzu Mumu and the exploits in the game, right? And the reason why I think it's the best movement in the times of like being fluid and being a freestyle. But if we're talking about modern terms to have balance, BF5 has the best movement. But it's just like this. Why are we dividing the player base so much? We need Dice to make a decision on these will be the designs in the map. We're gonna make closed weapon systems or open weapon systems, whatever. It don't matter to me. But we're gonna make this, that, and that. And that's scrap it. Because, bro, how many players was in full beta? Was it 65 million players? I forgot. Y'all can check. I'll check probably. But it said it was like we probably made 165 mil, something like that. We was close to some type of milestone. But we're not going to be able to get that milestone if people do not know the main game mode that everybody's going to be on. That's very well perfected. So like for example, Rush, BF4, BF3. It was a perfected game mode because it had good map design. It had good, you know, placements, good predictability, and it wasn't um stupid ass randomness like 2042, right? Like you just spawn and you just die instantly because somebody is just driving somewhere and like the random spawn point is just like, you know what I mean, right? So it's just like we need we need DICE to have one, three game modes because it's a lot of game modes. We need either obviously breakthrough, conquest, and some other game mode, whatever they do, because Rush was dead on in the beta. You could not get into a game after the second day of how Rush was, right? Could not get into a single game. You had to, and breakthrough as well. You had to wait for both of those game modes for about 2 minutes max. So my thing is that they do need three game modes that they can, you know, just focus on it exclusively, entirely. So we don't have all this like jumbo of like just arguing about nothing, which was class weapon systems. Didn't DICE already say that? Didn't they already give us something about class weapon system? They said it was gonna lock it or something. Like why didn't we get something about the weapon systems? About saying, bro, we're doing this. Like even if even if we do this, it doesn't matter about the flow of the game because we still need competent players to have a healer or to massage the vehicles. You know what I mean? Yeah, I said massage the vehicles. We need people to actually have the game to work in its entirety. We need people to play their roles, not use their guns. You know, like yeah, killing is a role, but just like how it was in the live streams in BF6, if y'all look back, right? Literally every single time that our tank died on our team or on the other team, it was a swipe. It was a swipe. Or a helicopter or a jet. It was a swipe. If the vehicles was gone, it was a swipe. If nobody was resin, the other team is gonna was pushing that objective. You know the C point on Siege of Cairo? Yeah, if everybody died on C point, everybody's gonna push that C point. And everybody was, like how y'all will see in my streams. Like class weapon systems does not matter for like yeah, it matters for the like individual on, you know, say if I have a sniper in the back, but it's just still, do you want to win the game or do you want to just use your weapon? I would do both. I don't just want to use my weapon on my class. I actually want to win the game and have actual like work brained teammates, you know? Like nobody wants to play with somebody who watches their tank pass away because they don't know how to use an engineering class. Or any class system for that matter. Or having an assault, you know. Be mad because the medic behind him isn't resin in a good environment that he can be res. So I know most of this video was about the class weapon systems. It overtook my brain, right? But still, the main topic about this video is that it's too many divisions the full in Battlefield 6, right? It's too many divides. We only need a few game modes and have those game modes be perfected. We don't need 7 game modes plus a BR. We don't need none of that. Because then, again, it's not going to be good. It's going to overwhelm everybody. It just is. So I'll say one last thing. What is y'all's take on having all of these class systems? All of, not all of these classes, all of these game modes, and not having anything to do anything about. You know what I mean? So let me ask that in a different way. Do y'all want all these game modes and not have no good gameplay? Like, do you want content and no good gameplay, or do y'all want good gameplay and good content? Because we know that we're seeing that we can get both, right? They're doing their best. Again, if they listen to streamers, the whole game's going to die. So that's just my question. Do y'all want more content and no gameplay, or both? Or gameplay and no content? But that's not a good idea either. So yeah, we're getting both at the moment. It's just we're just arguing again about open weapon systems. That doesn't mean jack. So yeah, that is my thing for this video. It was just like a random like rant. It was just going all over the place. I know it's not a good video today, right? But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for this video. Hope you like, share, and subscribe. I will stream BF6 when it comes out, Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, and be sure to check in. I will, you know, be a guidance. I'll be able to give y'all some content on this game. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for this video, and I'm out. Bye.